Welcome to the third of this series of videos for volunteers who are creating the Maryborough website. In this video, we're going to look at creating the rest of our post. In the notes, we asked you to think about how you wanted the post to look. Now you're going to see why. We've already created our header on our post, and now we want to insert another container. Again, we can use either the plus over here, or we can actually type our slash down here and select container. Again, we're going to get all the different layouts of container coming up. And the one that we want to use this time is the last one on the first, because what I want to do is I want to have a small picture and then with text along at the side of it. So I'm going to click on that, and we see the container has been added with a small section and a larger section. But the very first thing I want to do is say, well, actually, I don't want it to be the full width of my screen. So I'm going to click on my General tab. And this time, for container width, I'm only going to make it boxed. And what we see is that now reduces the size of that boxed container. So I want to create a small image in here, but I want to make it looking nice before I do that. So I'm going to click on this very first section, and what we see is it's now highlighted with a blue border. That means it's selected, so we can do anything else we want to it now. So I'm going to come along to my Style tab. I'm going to click there, and I want to add in a border. So I'm going to click on the down arrow. And the first thing I'm going to do is change the style from default to solid. And what we see, that line gets a wee bit darker, but is very thin. So I'm going to change it to be 5 pixels. But it's not the right colour. It looks as if it's black. So I'm going to click on colour, and then I'm going to come up and I'm going to click on this yellow button. And now we see that coming up. And that has now added a border. I want to add a box shadow. So I'm going to click the down arrow here, and I'm going to scroll down slightly. I'm going to make sure normal has been selected. I'm going to change the horizontal to 3. I'm going to change the vertical to 8. I'm going to change the blur to 12. And finally, I'm going to change the spread to 6. And now what we see is I'm doing each of those, that a grey box is appearing as a shadow, and that's me changing how it looks. I'm going to make sure it's selected to outset because I want that to be outside the box. So now I've come to the point where I can actually insert my image. So if I click on the plus button, what that allows me to do is select image from this little drop down. You could also have gone over to the top left and clicked on the plus there. It really is personal preference as to which you use. This time I'm going to select Media Library, and I'm going to come along and I'm going to select a picture from my library, and I'm going to come down to the bottom right hand corner and I'm going to click on select. Now that's great, we've got our image coming in, but remember when we uploaded the photo we did actually add some captions in. So I'm going to scroll down until I come to enable caption, and I'm going to click to switch it on. We know it's on because it's coloured, and also we now have the caption coming up as well. So that's us now made this nice with a border and a drop shadow. We've put in the image and we've displayed the caption. Now I want to add in some text, so I'm going to do that in this box here. So I could click in here, or alternatively I could come over here and click on these. If I do this here, I'm going to click over in heading, it turns blue, and I can drop it in. Now it automatically comes up with a heading for you, but you're not going to want to leave that on your post. So I'm going to select that, So I'm going to put in my heading, and now I'm going to say, well, I want to put in a little bit of text about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a paragraph. So again, I can do this search and we can see it's starting to come up. So I've got my paragraph. I can drag it over. Now, as I do that, you're going to see a little blue line appearing. If I dropped it here, it would make another column for me. I don't want that to happen. If I dropped it here, because it's blue, it shows it's going to put it above this heading. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to drag down slightly, and at the bottom of my heading, it turns that blue, and I'm going to drop it there. And now it's in the correct place. So what I can do is I can now select some text and either copy it in, or alternatively, I could type it in. And that's me done that paragraph. But what I really want to do is, this isn't going to be the end of my page. I'm going to want to put in another container with other text in it. So I'm going to come over to here. I'm going to click on the little X to get rid of that search. And now I've got container. So if I drag it over, I want to drag it under the existing container. So because the whole thing is highlighted like this, just underneath the image, I can let it go, and now I can choose the container layout again. This time I'm just going to want one column on the screen, but I don't want it to be full width. So I come back to General and I choose Container Width Boxed. That's it now, ready for me to add things like headings and further text in. So if I drag over a heading and drop that in, and again you can type in your heading, and now you're going to want to add in some text. So again, this is going to be a paragraph. So if I do the search for paragraph, drag it over, down here is going to drop it out with the container. We don't want that to happen, so we take it up slightly till the bottom of our heading is blue, and then we can drop it in there again. And again, you can actually sit and type in your text as you've got it. Some people like doing their text in a different text editor or something, or in a notepad. So what we can do here is you could actually select that and then just paste it in, and it'll put it in okay. So what we've got now is we can actually see that we've got a variety of different designs here. A small image with text, so that was 2 parts to the container, and this is just one big part to the container. So again, you could continue doing this and doing the rest of your post and picking the design elements that you want by using different types of containers. Again, if you want to save your post before you continue on to the next video, if you click on Save Draft, that's going to update this, it's going to save it, that's it saved, and now we're ready to actually continue.